Warning: members of the podcast are not professional analysts and are bound to make unreasonable and uneducated claims, which should not be taken seriously. Hey guys, it's Price here with the At the 50 podcast. We're going to be doing our Week 4 recap. And to start off, we're going to do the Bengals versus the Dolphins. Now,
he said this is where everyone gets hype, but no,
yeah,
I don't
we're all
care.
hype
We're not
because, yeah.
I'm here to
Bengals
tell you
win.
right now, we don't care.
Yes, we do, because the Bengals win 27-15 against the undefeated Dolphins, but
They were
not
undefeated.
anymore.
In all honesty, I like the Bengals. Glad they got a win, but I was honestly more concerned about Tua for the rest of the game. I didn't really give a crap whether the Bengals won.
The Dolphins franchise is going to kill him.
Did you see the concussion?
Protocol.
Doctor said that he should quit playing football. He said that he suffered permanent brain damage, and his advice is for him to retire immediately.
Wow.
I mean, he had a post-concussion seizure, not seizure, but like everyone saw it, the hand thing.
He went. So they call that a fencing position, like where your fingers. Literally
That's
just-
right.
yeah.
That's right. Fencing.
It was.
Yeah, apparently that happens after a traumatic concussion, especially since he was already concussed.
Everyone thought it was a back thing, but if you look back at the recordings, you can see him holding his helmet.
And
while
he
he's on the
stumbled.
ground.
He stumbled when
Like
he got
that-
up.
The back
that,
thing's
that
not-
could have been a back thing.
It could have been
too,
a back thing,
still,
but-
it was
Sure,
definitely-
sure.
It was definitely a head thing, considering he only got hurt once his head did snap back onto the ground.
Yeah.
I know I was a hater on Tua last week, but in all honesty, prayers out to him. Hopefully he gets better. I mean, it was a good game, though.
The Dolphins held it close for a decent portion. but-
Bridgewater had a pretty decent game.
Yeah,
I
Teddy
have to
Bridgewater coming back. He had a very bad knee injury earlier in his career. But
What was that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
but the Bengals ended up choking the life out of him.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, pretty good game. 287 yards for 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's looking like his, old self. He looks like Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty is back. Bengals are 2-2,
Yeah,
ready
Joe
to go.
Burrow.
T.
Burt.
Higgins looking great. Logan Wilson and Von Bell with the interceptions there, which those were questionable throws, both of them.
Oh, definitely. But good game for Von Bell.
Yeah,
Very good game.
good game for Eli Apple, who held who he was
Nico
guarding.
hates this. He hates it.
He was guarding.
He's not good.
I'm pretty
but
sure. Yes, he is. I'm pretty
he's not.
sure he was guarding Waddle that game, and Waddle only had 39 yards.
Yeah, Waddle fell right out of the top 5 receiving yards
I
leaders.
had Tua and Waddle on my starting lineup for fantasy. So.
Thank you, God. He got like.
That's
he
what
got
you get for
40
being a bandwagon fantasy player.
He got like 40 total points.
What do you mean?
That's why you have Jonathan Taylor and gets you no points.
Tyreek Hill did kind of.
Stay salty.
Tyreek Hill did have a good game. I
He
can admit
torched
that.
the Bengals.
Torched him, but if you
Yeah, but they
look-
lost,
if you
so
look back
it
at
doesn't matter.
If you look back at the film, he was literally just standing there wide open every
That's
If
game.
you
torture.
look at his stats, though, I think he's the 10th Dolphins player to have 150 yards in multiple games. I think.
He's also leading the league in receiving yards. So, yeah, but they lost, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
Bengals Dolphins game. I think is a wrap. Unless
Next
you have
game.
something
no,
to
I
end
got to
with.
put down.
Okay, Vikings Saints.
Boring.
Was that?
God.
Is this the first or second? The first London game
Yeah,
of the
it's
year.
the first one.
Yes.
I mean,
boring.
it ended. Yeah, but it ended well.
I mean, it ended well, but I tried watching that game and I fell asleep like 3
This
times.
was a great game for the British people to watch.
They
for
do
their
kind of tend to
monarch.
have, they kind of tend to have like some close ones. Just, I mean, I think that's how they draw it up. The NFL's rigged. It's a script,
the double doink
dude. The double dunk part 2. Will Lutz,
from 61 yards.
he usually makes ones like that, but I guess he is getting older. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the real MVP of that game, it's split. I think it was the Vikings announcer that was like, their kicker was more popular than fish and chips in London. I thought that was funny. And Minnesota's locker room, because he started mocking British people.
Yeah.
Nice, of course.
I was
Of course,
really
it's a great thing to do when you're in London.
I really was impressed though with the Saints offense, how they managed to get 25 points without their starting quarterback, wide receiver, or running back.
Andy Dalton threw a couple dimes, but his completion percentage.
The red rifle.
His completion percentage is, I think, just over 50. It's
It
kind
was
of
20 for 28.
yeah. So just 20. Sorry, my bad. I was thinking 20 for 38. But
I
my
think
bad.
I think Andy Dalton should retire from football and pick up tennis. Did
Yeah.
you see the video on his Instagram? Dude hit a beautiful tweener.
Yeah, he's good. He's an athlete. He's a stud,
Yeah.
I think. But, I mean, props to the Vikings offense. They got Justin Jefferson back going, 147 receiving yards for him. And Kirk Cousins' stat line, pretty good. I mean, they won a solid game of football. It wasn't like a mega thriller or anything, but
Wasn't in prime
It was a
time.
Vikings Saints game.
yeah, as
That's what
long
you
as
can
he's not
expect.
playing in prime time, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, next game. I don't know if we're going off the same list. Seahawks Lions, or am I a little early with that one?
You're way early with that one.
Okay.
Talking about,
I'm
we'll
on
talk
the-
about.
We'll go off your
I'm
guys'
on the
list.
Rams Niners.
All right, be quiet. Listen, Nico, what do we have here? Browns Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
I
talk
couldn't
about
find-
that.
I couldn't find the list this time. My bad.
All right, Marcus Mariota's stat line absolutely garbage. I don't know how they won that game. Well, rushing, I would say the rushing is good. I think the Browns defense, despite Myles Garrett, has a little bit of difficulty
Yeah.
with the rush.
Did Myles Garrett play that game since
He
he was
did.
in that crash?
Yeah.
yeah.
He was,
No, I don't know how long is. Do they have a timetable for when he'll be back?
I thought
do
he
they
played.
know?
I mean-
Did he not?
I'm looking at the rushing here, and they didn't. I mean, they had 2 rushing touchdowns, but besides that, the yardage was not there.
For who? The Falcons?
For the Falcons, yeah. The guy who had the most rushing yards had 56 total yards. Cordell Patterson had 38. Avery Williams.
I mean,
had
that's over 100
21.
rushing yards. If it was a single running back doing that, that would be an impressive rushing day.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
see.
maybe.
I don't
know.
see. I just said it. I just said his name.
What are you talking about? Falcons player?
Miles Garrett?
Myles Garrett.
I don't see him on the defense, like
Yeah.
with any numbers.
I don't-
think he played.
Yeah, he's. I think he was pretty badly. Not like there was no life-threatening injuries there, but if you saw him, he looked a little banged up.
He looked
Yeah.
a little shaken as
A
well.
little bit. I don't know. It was a single car crash, right?
Didn't his car like flip multiple times?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But he's Myles Garrett, so you know
Yeah.
a normal human probably would have like died or something. But he's
Yeah.
But that game, I don't know. 23-20. I don't really like any games with the Browns this year. It's boring.
I don't like the Browns,
Yeah.
but like I like players like Miles Garrett and Nick Chubb.
Sure.
You know.
I mean, we all love Jacoby Brissett, Colts
Oh.
fans, but
I like Nick Chubb because he's got a funny last name.
okay.
I liked this.
Thank you,
game.
Nico.
I love any game that the Browns lose because they're in the
Yeah.
AFC North.
Yep, makes
Well,
sense.
Yeah.
I
right.
like any game they lose because
Because they traded for Deshaun Watson and they deserve L.
I was gonna say
L after L.
I was gonna say he who should not be named, but
He who shall not be joked about.
I was just about to make a joke.
No, you're not making it. You're not making a joke. All right, we're gonna move on to the Bills Ravens game. What did you say about the Ravens earlier?
The Ravens choked so hard.
There was like a stat line that when the Ravens are up 17 points, they have like an 103 record, but there was they have 2 losses this season.
This season is they're starting. Their defense is
17.
selling.
I know it's
They just Lamar threw 2 picks as well, so those are gifts to the Bills. Allen's stat line was really not that impressive, honestly, in the game, but they did manage to pull out a 3-point victory, which is impressive because they were down a lot, leaving a lot. You have Josh Allen. A lot is relative, I would say. Would have been a lot for the Colts.
yeah, but if you look at the receiving and the rushing stats, it's like no one did anything too surprising.
Yeah, it was kind of just a slog fest, I would say.
Yeah.
I would say there were several games like that. We do have a shootout that we will talk about over betters. They loved that game, but we'll get to that here in a minute. But I'm going to talk Commanders and boys.
Yep.
Cooper Rush
Yeah.
elite.
He's elite. He's undefeated. Honestly, Jerry Jones would do something like keep Cooper Rush in even when Dak Prescott is healthy.
They did say though he might be coming back week 5.
Yeah.
It's like I said though. That's what the Patriots is Tom Brady. So I mean, Cooper Rush could be the next Tom Brady.
I think that is a big
Hot take. That's
hot take.
We need the hot take board.
The hot take board for Nico to say that Cooper Rush is Tom Brady. But yeah, he's undefeated. And honestly, doing that, like, it allows Dak Prescott to really come back when he's ready. It doesn't force a return for him because Cooper Rush is playing just fine.
Yep.
Yeah, but I did see something recently that they were like, "Oh, the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders."
They say that every year. On paper, the Cowboys should be, but in practice, they never.
I mean,
They
Dak
never
Prescott's
pan. It's like 8-8. Well, 9-8, 8-9, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Dak Prescott's never as good as he's hyped up to be, and then
Oh, yeah.
just the rest of the team, they bottle it when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah,
And
I'm not a Dak Prescott.
I
believer.
like Dak Prescott, but like it's not for a lack of receivers. It's not for a lack of. I mean, they got Zach Martin. Their
Especially-
O line
He
is.
always has good receivers and a good O-line. He says nothing with it.
Especially that stupid commercial of his where he's getting sacked by the
The moms.
Real Housewives.
Oh, the
or
Real
whatever.
Housewives. That's right.
I hate that. commercial.
Let's talk about Washington though. I think they finally started to see why we got rid of Carson Wentz.
He's giving them the
yeah.
full Carson Wentz experience. But hey, if he stays healthy, we get 2 second-round picks. So we want him to continue to be just bad enough to lose them games so that we can feel good about ourselves, but good enough to where he doesn't get benched because we want those picks. I'm pretty sure they're conditional based on snaps as well as like him being unhealthy would affect his snaps. So I think it's a percentage of time he has to be on the field for us to receive the conditional pick, but we definitely want to see that. So he needs to have a good game every now and again.
Yep.
But I mean, that's Cowboys win 25-10. Nothing special to see there. I think FedEx Field actually had another leak.
It did.
It did. It's pouring sewage on fans. It's like the worst. It's like the worst stadium in the NFL. It's awful. I would never go to a game at FedEx Field. Never. I wouldn't wish that on Price, who's my worst enemy.
Yeah.
You'd probably tear your ACL just walking in the stands.
It's bad.
Don't let McCaffrey go there then.
Oh, if McCaffrey even like breathed
He'll
the air
die
at
on the
FedEx Field,
field.
he'll die. Yeah, and they also had that thing. I don't know if it was last year when like the sides collapsed. It was the Eagles.
game.
Yeah.
Apparently, the fans they started like making lawsuits to sue them.
Yeah, right. Even though no one was injured. But enough about that. Seahawks Lions. We want to talk about that shootout.
Fantastic game. Geno Smith is the GOAT of all quarterbacks, and Rashad Penny is a fantastic running back.
I agree with the second take.
Tom Brady left his family just so Geno Smith would have a better completion rating.
Facts. And then you look at the receiving touchdowns. The only 2 touchdowns were scored by our tight ends, which, I mean, that's just a Seahawks type of thing. Where
Was it Will Dissly and
Noah Fant? Yeah.
Noah Fant?
But then 2 big games from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
They finally did something.
Okay,
They've
but
been doing
okay,
good all season.
look.
No,
Okay.
they
This
have.
is-
They get yards. They just don't
This
get
is an
touchdowns.
argument I'm going to have here. Yeah, their numbers look good, but the Lions, every single game they have been in has been a high-scoring game. I don't think
Yeah.
their defense.
They've
I don't.
been-
Do
they've
they
been
have a defense on field?
No, I don't think so. I think it's like
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Against the Commanders, their defense looked decent. Like they were rushing well. They were getting they got a good amount of sacks. I think they've just
Their defense.
Yeah.
No, they're like a. I don't know.
If you see one of their touchdowns, the defender, he's like sitting in the middle, like it's in the red zone, and then I think the guy just runs up straight the middle, and he just moves to the side and just runs in.
Okay, if you're giving up 48 points, 48 points. Anybody who watches NFL knows 48 points.
That's
You would
a lot.
expect to be
Especially
giving that
the
up to
Seahawks.
like you would expect to give that up to like maybe Patrick Mahomes or like Aaron Rodgers
okay.
last year, but to Geno Smith and the Seahawks offense. Listen,
The
they
Seahawks offense is very good. Geno Smith,
they have a good offense, but
Geno Smith isn't a good quarterback, but is it a very good offense still?
their offense is good, but 48 points against anybody is ridiculous.
Nico, this isn't a knock at the Seahawks offense. This is literally just saying like
Well,
this
when
is
he said
it's just
against the Seahawks offense, it sounds like
They're
it's targeted at the Seahawks
they're
offense.
not one of the better offenses in the
When you
league.
let Rashad Penny run all over you, I mean, it's kind of like
yeah.
Rashad Penny's a very good running back, though.
Yeah, but he's not like on the level of guys like Jonathan Taylor or like Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, Austin
there you
Eckler,
go.
any of those. Yeah, I was gonna say that just so you wouldn't riot.
Last year, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, last year,
Jonathan Taylor.
This year, Jonathan Taylor, he's been better this season so far.
wrong game.
All right,
We're talking about
no. Just be quiet for a second. Listen, last year after Week 4, Jonathan Taylor was ranked 24th in fantasy efficiency or whatever the metric is. This year after Week 4, he's ranked 24th. He always has a bad start to the season. So do the Colts. Now, I'm not saying the Colts are going to win games. I hope they do. It's very possible. But Jonathan Taylor is going to start producing, so don't trade him. Don't trade him. Mark my words. Don't trade him.
I don't
Any-
have him in any of my leagues.
Well, I'm not talking directly to you.
I'm
We're,
not
we're shooting a
mentally
pot.
brain dead to pick him. You know,
Anyway, Jared Goff, good game. Jared Goff,
big game. Yeah.
he even though their lines are in high scoring games and stuff like that, they still find ways to produce on the offense.
They
to
They
keep
do.
it close.
Wasn't Amon Ra out? Wasn't
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure
he
it
was
was.
out.
So who was their lead?
Hawkinson.
TJ
Hawkinson?
Hawkinson.
Oh yeah, right.
He
I have
picked
him.
He picked you up like 40 points.
Exactly. Yes, I have
and
Hawkinson.
Josh Reynolds also had a
And
good
then
game.
Really?
Jamal Williams, another 2 touchdowns.
What about
Amazing,
not
insane.
Marvin Jones? Who's the other receiver that they have?
Was DeAndre Swift out as well?
Swift?
He's been out for a
yeah.
while.
Yeah, he's
He
been
should be
injured.
back next game though, right?
Okay.
The Lions games are so fun to watch. Like I don't care. Like I want the Lions to win.
Yeah.
They could be 3-1 right now. It's just it's close. But like I don't know. I love watching them. I hope they're good.
I love Dan
soon.
Campbell.
Dan Campbell, he's a stud. And
They
yeah,
just need
but
better defense.
48 points. That is unbelievable. And honestly, for the Seahawks defense, 45 points to the Lions. They have a good offense, but still 45. Like that. That's like
The
both those
Seahawks
defense need to
is
be like
terrible.
crucified.
They are the Seahawks have
Didn't
a horrible.
did they
defense.
lose Carlos Dunlap too? I think he's on the Chiefs now.
I thought they cut him.
That's a surprise.
If he-
That is something they would do.
yeah, it's not a surprise when it comes from the Seahawks.
You know
Like,
who they
do
should
dumb
pick up?
stuff.
They should pick. They have good luck with Geno, so they should pick up Geno Atkinson, defensive lineman.
That would be interesting.
Which, as a Bengals fan,
They
I
should
know
just-
I know I'm getting off topic about the Bengals again, but I'm still surprised he's in the free agency.
The Seahawks
Yeah.
should just pick up every player named Geno and just make an all Geno team.
Speaking of that kind of thing, you know who cleared waivers that's really surprising? Desmond Patman, the receiver for the Colts. You would think there would be a lot of teams who would like want to get like a young guy who's got some potential, but like he hasn't done a whole lot. But he cleared waivers and he's back on our practice squad. Just like a little tidbit of information there. But
Now, Van, important to note, the last bit of what you said, he hasn't done a lot. That's why teams don't want him. You know, they tend to want players who are actually doing stuff.
you know, you tend to like say the most incoherent garbage about football on this podcast, but that is like you have to have
He didn't do anything for the Colts, so
You-
why would they want
Why are we
him?
on
What
the
were-
Colts?
what hey what
The Colts
posi-
have terrible wide receivers, and he wasn't
Okay,
good enough
everyone.
to be on the
Okay,
Colts.
hey.
That's saying
Hey,
something.
hey.
Listen.
Let's get back.
No, I'm not even arguing with him. I'm just saying like yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot, but you want young players who like have potential.
Okay, again,
I'm
Van,
sorry.
It's the Colts.
I-
though.
I've caused
If
this.
a player's not good,
This
enough-
is why you're
if
not-
If a player's not good enough to be on the Colts wide receiver core, they shouldn't be on any team's wide receiver core.
It's not about being good enough or not. It's about room and like who gets more snaps on any given
Okay,
game.
okay,
Again, the Colts wide receiver
okay.
is terrible. So how is he not getting reps? He's good.
there's
Guys,
nothing we can do.
you're both ugly, so just shut up. Let's move
What
on.
does
You're
that
the one to
have-
talk.
All right, anyways.
Anyway,
Chargers, Texans.
let's take a little bit of a breather here. You know, let's get back into it.
My
Okay, Chargers Texans.
I'm just waiting for the next game so I can have a platform to talk about.
Austin Eckler, pretty solid game.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 60 yards. It's
Texans
solid.
haven't won a game yet.
Texans haven't won a game.
Still managed to tie the Colts.
Justin Herbert still washed.
Your team is going to be garbage and you will feel pain. I hope you feel pain.
My team still has a better
Hey,
record.
the
than
I
Texans-
yours.
appreciate that I got Justin Herbert being washed through and no one noticed.
He's not washed, but whatever. The Texans, okay, even though they're 0-3-1, they have they're not in all phases of the game. They're not terrible.
They're
No, I
fighting.
think-
They're not bad
They're
at all.
looking for success. For me, they kind of remind me of the Lions last year. Young squad, a couple of veterans, but like they're just looking to build a system and a culture. And I feel like with their new head coach, I already forgot his name.
Lovey Smith.
Yeah, Lovie Smith. I feel like they're doing a good job of building a culture. Yeah, they're not winning games.
Not yet, but they will.
Not yet.
They will beat the Jaguars this Sunday.
But if they continue to develop the young talent, the younger players that they have, and they just utilize the talent that they have, they could go back into a decent form.
yeah, I mean, Lovey Smith, he's put together a good defense. Like Derek Stingley Jr., he's a stud. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Pierce, the running back great game.
Pierce has been great.
I know. I'm really impressed by him. I mean, I like in the AFC South. Like, I'm not like Price. Like, I don't hate every team in the AFC. I absolutely despise Tennessee.
I hate the Titans.
I hate the Titans. I like the Jags and the Texans. And like, I mean, I like the Jags less than I like the Texans. I would say the Texans are my next favorite team in the AFC South. Not that I would ever root for them. I want them to lose. But like, they're like Dameon Pierce. I mean, he's impressive. I don't know. I think they should probably. I feel like they should have won a game by now. But
Well, if they want to win next week's game, they haven't been the greatest against rushing. Their rushing defense isn't phenomenal,
Except
really.
against us.
no, against
No.
us, JT ran for 164 yards
And a
against the
half.
Texans.
Oh,
yeah.
never mind.
Yeah, so they have to. Robinson, right? He's
James Robinson.
Yeah,
They've got James
they've got a
Robinson
lot.
and Travis Etienne.
they have to lock him down in order to win, or they're going to run all over him.
Yeah, I
think
feel like
those two are really good.
And then their passing game, I mean, like Christian Kirk, they kind of
Christian Kirk.
their secondary is decent. Like the Texans,
Texans.
secondary is
They'll put
okay.
Stingley on Kirk, and I don't think he's going to produce. Like
Yeah.
I might take out Kirk of my. I've got him in my flex right now in one of my leagues. I might take him out and like I don't know, pick up some like low tier receiver because I don't think Christian Kirk is going to score any points. Not like any, but like if they put Stingley on him, he's going to be on an island. I feel like.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I kind of see happening is what happened on Sunday with Trevor Lawrence, who fumbled
4
the balls.
fumbles.
Yeah,
You mean Trevor Ryan?
yeah. I think we might. I think we might see a focus on the run game, kind of like how you guys were talking about, especially with the Houston like inability to stop the run. So I don't know if we'll see much of a passing game from Houston.
But Houston should know that, and they should expect it. I mean, they should honestly be. They should be in a 4-3 setup, maybe one deep safety. I mean, they gotta be focused on their run. Otherwise, they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
So, but it's winnable for the Texans, and I hope that they beat them. I hope so much because then if the Titans lose, and the Colts win tonight, top of the AFC South.
Tonight's the Colts game.
Yep, against Denver. It's gonna be a shootout. Score's gonna be like 9-6.
All right, so next game we got.
Oh, I just got a notification. We elevated Philip Lindsay. Speaking, we're going to the Colts, right? So this is fair.
So we're going to the Titans.
Titans,
versus
Colts.
The Colts.
Elevated Philip Lindsay. Revenge game incoming.
Sure. So
24-17.
Tannehill,
He's garbage.
he didn't look great.
I hate Tannehill.
Not
he didn't
great.
he didn't play bad, but he didn't look
He
great.
only had 4 incomplete passes.
Yeah, went
Okay.
17 for 21, 137 yards with 2 touchdowns.
But it's like
I hate
when
Ryan
Derrick
Tannehill.
Henry comes out of nowhere, and well, not out of nowhere, but he's shown his king status again with
5.2 yards average. With
Derrick
the
Henry.
Gus
Not
Yeah,
the
but-
score.
Bradley. Gus Bradley is the biggest moron. No, the biggest nepotist in the NFL. He's putting Brandon Faison on the, or however the hell you say his last name, on the field when Isaiah Rodgers is probably better than Kenny Moore. What do you think? Is that fair to say? Isaiah Rodgers might be, other than Stephon Gilmore, might be the best DB on our team. And they put Brandon Faison on the field, and he cost, like, anybody who watched the game, he cost us 14 points in the first quarter. Like, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Now say what you're going to say about Jonathan Taylor so I can yell at you.
He had 20 carries for 42 yards. Kind of bad.
Kinda.
Actually,
And when
that's
Every
terrible.
single yard
That's
he
horrible.
got, he had to get himself.
Didn't
Our
he-
line is awful.
Would you say worse than the Bengals?
Right now, yes.
Bengals, yeah, line have been
I
looking
mean, the
really.
last 2 games, the Bengals line has been solid, but
Yeah,
we-
3
we're-
sacks.
guys,
I forgot to
guys,
bring that
guys.
up. But we're getting off topic.
Trash.
We are forgetting an amazing rusher, though, for the Colts, though. Matt Ryan with -4 yards.
Yeah, he's got such good ball security. They should just put him at running back.
To be honest, yeah. You know what though? There are some positives I think from both teams in that game.
And you know what's crazy? Matt Ryan had 356 yards.
Yeah, I mean he played well.
How?
If you take the
I don't know.
listen,
He had
if you
2
take the
fumbles.
fumbles away, he's like doing really well. But the fumbles, I don't know what it is. It's a problem. It's always been a problem for his whole career, but for some reason this year it's worse.
How
I
many?
mean,
fu-
I didn't even notice they had a fumble problem until this year. Like, this has been the worst I've seen him with fumbles.
How many fumbles did he have that game?
2.
Ryan
One was
lost
lost.
one, and JT lost a
Isn't that
fumble.
like 9 on the season?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this guy's.
But listen, Alec Pierce, you said he was going to do nothing because you hadn't ever watched him play a snap of football ever, and you just said that because you don't like the Colts. He is actually stepping up. He's doing really well. He catches all the moon balls. I don't think he's dropped one. He comes back and just mosses everybody.
Houston.
All right. I'm
He
gonna.
dropped one in Houston.
I'm gonna,
Okay, yeah, he dropped his first pass ever in
He
the
didn't
NFL.
have
but-
a catch or a target in the game against Tennessee. So
What are you talking about?
I have the stats right here.
He had 4 receptions.
He had 4 receptions
80
for,
yards.
I think,
6 targets, 4
Guys, I
receptions,
see
80
it.
yards.
80 yards.
20 average,
I mean-
and 44.
oh my.
Damn.
Yeah, he was catching moon balls. Nico, all
Is
right.
his name the only
Alec?
two got that bit?
We're going to the
Hold
next
on.
game.
No, he literally isn't on here. Where do you see him?
Nico, I was
Look what I
at
got.
Nico, I was at the stadium. I watched him play. I can tell you for sure that he caught receptions. Next game.
Next game. Okay, we got Bears and Giants, I'm pretty sure we got.
Yeah, Bears Giants.
Wow. Did the Giants
What a boring game.
how did they win this? Daniel Jones, 71 yards.
Injured. He got injured.
He got injured, but then
Tyrod Taylor comes in.
11 yards.
Injured. And then they had Saquon Barkley play quarterback, and he was better than both of them. I'm not even kidding.
Saquon single.
He is the GOAT.
handedly carrying.
He is the Giants.
Man is Atlas right
Yeah,
now.
he is Atlas.
Man is carrying that franchise.
But Daniel Jones he rushed for 68 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It-
That's
it-
probably why
bro,
he's.
that,
He
that game
almost
was
rushed
looking,
for more than he passed.
bro. That game was looking like an SEC game. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? Yeah, but anyways, Bears, they had the 45-minute lateral play at the end of the game. It looked like it was going to go somewhere, and then I don't remember who was like a lineman. He just threw it at one of the defenders, and it was like, oh, that was kind of anticlimactic. But anyways, the Bears' offense is garbage. Anybody who lets the Giants score 20
Yeah,
points,
I'm looking at Justin Fields here. He had a 50% completion.
Yeah, their offense sucks.
I know he's throwing to literally no one, but still, you gotta complete at least.
hey, Darnell Mooney is not nobody. Yeah,
He's the only good player on their team.
Herbert.
Khalil Herbert is good. Yeah,
Khalil
that's
Herbert is doing fantastic this season. But then Justin Fields had 7 carries for 52 rushing yards. And it's like, okay.
all right,
Yeah.
next,
And he
next
got
game.
sacked 6 times.
let's
which-
let's move on. That
Anyone's
game,
a running back, it's him, not Lamar Jackson.
true.
All right, next game.
Jags Eagles. Jags went up 14-0 on the Eagles. I was at the Colts game and I was seeing it on the around the league scores, and I was like, this day is awful, because at that point the Colts might have been down by 75 points. I don't know, something like that. But then the Eagles, they kind of they decided, wait a minute, we're undefeated. We're the Eagles. They eagled.
This is what I was talking about last episode.
Their first quarter.
The first quarter, they're like, what sport are we playing again? And then it's just like, oh yeah, we're a professional NFL team.
Yeah.
And then they,
And I'm
go.
glad they came back. Jaguars tried to make a little mini comeback at the end, but it was for naught, and the Eagles won 29-21.
Miles Sanders,
Stud.
stud. He's been playing so good.
Every Eagles player is a stud.
Do we see Jalen Hurts being an MVP contender?
No.
No.
No, I mean,
No.
he didn't even throw a touchdown this game.
Really?
Interception.
He's a brilliant game manager, though, I would say.
Not in the first quarter.
As far as game managing, no, not the first one, but yeah. I liked watching that game. It brought joy to my heart. I do like when Jags lose. I thought the Colts were going to come back and win, but, that was probably a stupid hope to have. My dreams always get shattered as a Colts fan. Anyways,
The glue factory. of
the
Sadness.
glue
sadness.
factory of
Eagles.
sadness.
And if anyone here, I'm the one getting the dream shattered.
What are you talking about? Your
The
team.
Bengals, we have sucked for years and
That
years.
is true.
That's true.
And then we go to the Super Bowl, we're all hyped, we're like, this is our year, and we lose.
Okay,
And then
but
we start
you
off-
understand that playing in a Super Bowl is the next best thing.
But losing in the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah,
Again, after every
I
time
understand.
the Bengals have gone,
They've lost. Hey, it's not as bad as the Bills back in the 90s went 4 times straight and lost every single one of them. Hey, you know who the backup quarterback was for that? And it's single-handedly his fault. Frank Reich. All right, next.
Didn't he play in one of them too?
He did, yeah. Then they
Yeah.
lost. He was a good QB, but yeah, whatever. Next game, Jets Steelers.
Great game. I love
Woo! I love when the Steelers lose.
this weekend as a Bengals fan was great because everyone in the AFC North except for the Bengals lost. So
Zach Wilson looked
He looked all right.
decent.
He looked all right. His mom's friends must have been at the game watching him play. Money Mitch got benched for Kenny Pickett. Pickett comes in, throws an interception on his first ever pass, but then he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
I mean,
So
no, he's the
So-
second coming of Jesus. Actually.
Did you see what I texted you about?
Yes, yes.
That was so dumb. Like, how do you actually throw it
Jets
far
edge the
enough?
Steelers out 24-20. It was
Zach-
quite an interesting game to watch. I watched a little bit of it, but unfortunately, a fan fell off of the escalators and I think died on the way to the hospital
Wait,
at,
really?
at the game.
Didn't hear about that.
Yeah, at the
I did not
Steelers.
hear about that.
Yeah, he was. I was after the game, and he was a Steelers fan, so he must have been upset and drunk, and he probably, I don't know, just fell off the escalator. Why are you laughing? Why'd you laugh at that? Because the way I said it. Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
to bring more lighthearted. Better news. Did we bring up Kenny Pickett throwing 3 interceptions?
Oh, he threw 3. All I
Three
saw was the
picks.
first one he threw. Yeah, that sounds like a Nathan Peterman type entrance into the NFL.
Yet
But-
again, Najee Harris. You know, I
Steelers-
predicted
Steelers-
it.
Bust,
Still going for the
bust,
Super Bowl,
bust,
I
so.
predicted
bust.
it.
Yeah, he did. He said it. Go back and watch the videos. Next game, Cardinals Panthers 26-16. I literally could not care less about the Cardinals and the Panthers.
They're the
Like,
I think we can label the Cardinals as the most irrelevant team in the NFL.
I know they are so,
yeah.
and so are the Panthers. Baker Mayfield's own fans booing him. I didn't watch a second of this game because I don't care. Look, we do not care. I don't care what the Cardinals do. I don't care about the Panthers. They don't let McCaffrey do anything. I have him on fantasy. He actually did all right this week, but they still lost 26-16.
Yep.
Kyler Murray was probably playing the Modern Warfare 2 beta again to only beat the
But
Panthers
the-
by 10.
The beta's done, so he should be starting to pick up his stats.
Okay, so they should probably go 3-2 this. Beta's over for
Yeah, but just Mayfield. God.
god awful.
Who did he have as backup? Is
Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
No, but he's hurt, isn't he?
I don't even know
yeah,
who their
he is,
backup.
though.
Who's their
He is.
backup
Yeah, I thought he
after
was
that?
out
Like
this season.
PJ Walker?
No. It's they drafted him.
Oh,
Oh, Sam Howell, right? Or wait, no, wait, that's the.
no. Are you,
That was the. Is it Sam Howell?
oh yeah. Matt. How do you say Coral?
But he's on IR.
Coral. Yeah. Okay. Yes. They didn't really not have anyone. They would have put McCaffrey at quarterback. All right.
This is the MVP's chance.
No, Sam Howell's
Cam
on the
Newton.
Commanders.
to
Cam
come back.
Newton's coming back. All right. See, we got about 12 minutes left here. Patriots Packers. That game, the fourth quarter was full of mistakes. I feel like by the refs and the teams. They went into overtime, ended up winning on a Mason Crosby field goal to win the game. But
I feel like this is just another boring game.
It was-
Especially,
The Patriots just suck.
yeah, their passing game. They had both of their backup quarterbacks in, and they just didn't impress.
But I think Aaron Rodgers might have found his new number one guy. Romeo Dobbs, over 2 weeks, has had like 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, like 20 receptions. He's pretty good. He's very QB friendly, I think is what one of the commentators said. I think he might have found his guy because other than that, he doesn't really have.
Well, Alan Lazard had a big game.
Yeah.
6 receptions for 116 yards.
Yeah, I mean, but I kind of feel like aside from that, like we expected, I guess Alan Lazard, apart from everyone, he didn't really have a whole lot of receivers, is what we said. So I expect Alan Lazard to play well, but you can't just be like you get in like a T.Y. Hilton kind of situation when you isolate one guy as your top. Like T.Y. Hilton was like a stud for years, and then people started to figure out like he's actually good. So then he would get double teamed, and then no one else would catch the ball, and I don't want
Yeah.
that would happen to the Packers.
But
Like,
I think their receivers started playing good recently because I don't think Aaron Rodgers had a chance to call him garbage.
yeah, he didn't talk bad about his team in the press conference. Like the real team player that Aaron Rodgers is. I don't like him for that reason.
I mean, he is playing with children, though, so.
Okay, sure, but if you look up to someone and then they say you're garbage, like if you're like a freshman on the soccer team and then one of the seniors is like you suck, what are you gonna feel like? Like, is that gonna make you play better? No. Like he's just I don't know why he has to do that all the time, but anyways, it ended real
Next
interestingly.
game.
Yeah, the next game.
The Broncos
The
versus the
Broncos are
Raiders.
the most mid team in the country.
What do you mean? They let Wilson cook.
And they lost 32-23. Raiders picking up their first win. Woo! Good job, Vegas. They're supposed to be 3-1 by this point, but apparently they would rather be 1-3. Devontae Adams, honestly, not as good with Derek Carr.
Russell Wilson actually did have a pretty good game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he had 8 incompletions on 25 attempts, but he still threw for 237 yards. and
Their
2
run
touchdowns.
game is over.
But the Broncos defense letting the Las Vegas Raiders score 32 points.
Yeah, that's kind of.
They can't stop the run. They just can't. If you let Josh Jacobs rush for that many yards on you,
I can't believe he's still healthy.
Speaking
I know.
speaking of the run though, Broncos run, they don't have it anymore. Javonte Williams out, season end.
yep, tore his ACL and his
Melvin
LCL.
Gordon gonna step up.
Damn.
He
and
tore his
fumble
yeah.
it, and
Usually,
he's
He
gonna
tore
fumble the ball.
everything.
5
yeah, he
more
blew
times.
his knee out. Tearing your LCL in football is like really impressive because your LCL is like on the outs. So like your ACL and your PCL go like this in your knee, and it's easy for
Yeah.
these to get tangled and torn. Your MCL's on the inside. That's a Joe Burrow injury right there. Your LCL is on the
Yeah,
outside of your
I think
knee.
I'm an expert on this.
Like, yeah, you're an like, how do you tear your LCL playing football? I don't know,
mean,
but he did it.
So
Unfortunately.
the LCL, is that the one that like you're supposed to like have to get in a car crash to tear or something?
Yeah, it's like one of the strongest ligaments in your
Yeah.
leg. I feel. I'm pretty sure. But
Well-
yeah, enough with the medical lecture here.
Derek Carr.
Garbage.
Wow,
Terrible
he has
quarterback.
shown that he cannot complete
A
a pass. He doesn't have a positive pass.
I love the new
percentage.
advertisement he has out. Have you guys seen it? The new advertisement? Oh, I get it all the time.
What is?
I don't remember what it is. It's like him saying like, "I knew I was destined to play in pro football." And it's like,
I mean, I like Derek Carr. Like as a person, I think he's great. But like, I don't know what his problem is. Like, they're like the Colts. They have just so many similarities between the Raiders and the Colts. Like they on paper they should be good, but they suck, just like the Colts.
How does Derek Carr not win games with the offense he has?
I don't know.
Like Hunter Renfro, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs.
Hey, remember Darren Waller this time?
Oh
I did
my
remember him this
God.
time.
All right,
It's easy to forget him this season.
Because he's done nothing
right.
for my fantasy team.
Exactly. All right, we're running out of time. Let's talk next game. Chiefs Bucks 41-31. Chiefs win. I love seeing Tom Brady lose.
Well,
Yeah.
Giselle was kind of weighing on his mind there.
Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even care. I don't care.
Watch out for Zach Wilson.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's coming in like a missile. The score doesn't really
Like
really
a jet.
like a jet. That's right.
okay,
Okay.
Anyway.
Tom Brady had a pretty good game still.
Okay, because they let them score a bunch of points in garbage time. I don't think the score accurately reflects how much of a beating the Buccaneers defense took at the hands of Patrick Mahomes. That was like a vintage Mahomes.
That spin, the spin,
The spin and the
toss.
flick to. I hate Edwards' hilarious helmet, by the way. That's just a odd thing I thought of. I think it looks stupid. Anyways, that game Mahomes just tore the defense apart. I loved watching it.
He showed that he was still,
Yeah, everyone's like,
Wow.
shut up.
Okay.
They're not even in your division. Why do you hate so many AFC West teams?
Because
the Bengals always lose to them.
what do you mean? The Bengals own the Chiefs.
Yeah, true. Well, last season they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bucks, they got their receivers back, but I think Evans he was back. He did pretty well.
1, 2 touchdowns.
He had 2 and 103
yeah.
yards.
Yeah, he was balling. Other than that, they took a beating. Not too much to see there. Monday night, Rams Niners.
Yeah.
G.
Jimmy G, he's back. 24-9, the 49ers win. I kept thinking the Rams were going to score a touchdown, but they decided that their offense just doesn't work anymore.
49ers offense, they did decent, but in all honesty, I think their defense really helped them out this game.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Matt Stafford, he just will not throw the ball to Allen Robinson.
I love seeing the
It's
Rams
like,
lose. And
throw it to him. He's on my fantasy team.
I mean,
he was on my
okay,
sleeper
hold
picks.
on. No, Allen Robinson. He threw the ball to Allen Robinson 6 times, and he only caught 2 of the passes.
Okay,
Well,
well, maybe he
okay.
threw it to him this game, but like,
Let's see those passes first. Okay.
yeah,
True.
let's be honest.
Matthew Stafford
That was
is
not
the
his
quarterback.
finest hour as far. But Niners defense come out. Dude, Debo Samuel is a stud. You see that one? Dude, yeah, he's unstoppable. I mean, good, very fun game to watch. Aside from the Rams only scoring 9 points, it was. I mean, I watched about the whole thing. It was great.
Who was the receiver that they hit I think 2 times for a touchdown 49ers.
The Niners.
Williams? Something Williams?
No, I thought Deebo Samuel had a touchdown, and I thought maybe Brandon Ayuk did.
Jeff Wilson had a
Oh,
rushing.
Wilson.
Jeff Wilson had a touchdown.
He had a rushing one, but I don't see.
Oh, I
well,
thought he
actually,
had a, I
Did
thought he
I
had a
use
receiving
not
one
have
as well.
my thing is
I thought Ayuk.
people who had receptions on here, so don't trust my thing.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. I know he had.
Ayuk
8
didn't have a
touchdowns.
touchdown. I thought he did, but
He's
Ayuk
on
had
my
some good.
bench.
Ayuk had some good plays though. He got
I had him in
targeted.
my lineup, and he played like dog. He only had 37 yards. Thanks
But yeah, 49ers beating the Rams. 49ers are kind of getting there. I think everyone in their division 2-2.
Yep.
now.
yep.
That'll be
Seahawks
interesting.
are currently tied for
He
top
thinks
division.
that the Seahawks are on the level of all those teams.
Well,
but,
considering I'm gonna do a hot take. I think the Seahawks are in contention to either win their division or get the wild card, but probably not make it to the wild card, but like in
Yeah.
the wild card spot of their.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I think the
no. Are we letting him in?
hey, let's let him say something.
Let him in. Let him in.
Something on the podcast. You want to come say hi to the podcast?
Guys, I just have a really quick question. Got a big issue. Do I start Naheem Hines tonight? Is he gonna? What's the over/under? Is he gonna get more or less than 15 carries? He should be the featured back. I understand they got somebody moving up from the practice squad. What do I do?
So Jonathan Taylor's hurt, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So then he'll be the starter. So
So-
then he probably should, because
They elevated
But-
Philip Lindsay, and he did used to play against the Broncos.
And he runs between the tackles.
Yeah.
So, but my question is, can I count on Naheem Hines for 15 or more carries tonight?
I'm saying no.
I don't
I
think
think they'll be
15
pretty
and more, but he'll definitely get some targets.
I say yes. I think Naheem Hines is going to go off because
You really?
we can't be running between the tackles against the Broncos. I think.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I got to go teach.
All right.
Gotcha.
All right, well, that was Mr. DeWitt, our Spanish teacher.
Spanish teacher and
we might-
legend swim coach.
We might feature him.
gotta bring him
sometime.
on for an
We might
interview.
bring him on.
you gotta put your phone down so violently.
I was checking the time. Anyways, that's our week 4 recap. We will see you here next week. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and we'll see you then.
Go Bengals.